Alright, so today I'm going to be going over Tanya. So Tanya is a very difficult character to start out with because she requires a lot of matchup knowledge on your end about your opponent's characters. But otherwise, she is a mid-range zoner with a lot of reversal and defensive capabilities and some pretty good keep-out tools, which I will show in just a moment, as now we have to go over all of her specials. So first special is Heavenly Hand, down forward 1, and it looks like that. It's a high, it's pretty average, start up 25 frames, gives you a lot of hit advantage, but your opponent can duck it, you use it for zoning, and your average projectile. The enhanced version, startup is a little bit quicker. It gives you way more hit advantage on hit, and it becomes a mid, so your opponents cannot duck it and instead will have to block or try and jump over it. But it's your average projectile, and what you would use this for is to end strings with it, because it gives you a lot of hit advantage, which can set up pressure or guidance charges, which I'll show you in a second. And if you end an enhanced version, way more hit advantage, and you can continue to pressure. Now we'll move on to the air version, right there, Air Heavenly Hand. And this one is also a pretty average projectile, though it does have a steep angle. And that's what it looks like. This hits mid, like so, and it's average. She does move back a little bit while you do it. You can do it kind of instantly to get the angle so it's a little bit closer. You can wait till you're high in the air and do it. But, pretty normal. Though it is a little rough to use in the neutral because people can jump over the projectile and air to air you and go into an air combo, and then they can extend all that. But the enhanced one is the one that you want to use because it's a crumple state restand on your opponent that allows you to combo like naturally like that, or you can use it in an air combo so that you can extend from the air, continue on the ground, all that jazz. But that is it for her projectiles. Now we're on to Seeking Guidance. So this introduces Tanya's exclusive, unique mechanic called Guidance. And the move Seeking Guidance, down forward 3, has 4 versions. There is when you just kind of tap it and let go, you get 1 guidance charge, and you can do that again for the second one. 34 frames, pretty long. But if you hold it, it's 44 frames, and you can get 2 charges instantly. The enhanced version is really not worth it, and I'll explain why after I show it right now. So 29 frames, it just makes it a little bit faster. Getting 2 charges is 30 frames, so it's really not worth to spend meter there, because as I said earlier, you can use her projectiles to set up guidance like that, because you get a lot of hit advantage on it, which guarantees either 1 level of guidance or 2 levels of it. The enhanced projectile guarantees you get 2 levels, which is pretty good. So there's a lot of ways you can set up guaranteed guidance charges and getting guaranteed 2 of them, depending on if you use your projectile or you use a cameo on block, for example. Okay, that was a little late. Like that. So there's a lot of ways you can get your guidance charges, which is why I do not recommend you spend meter to do it a little bit quicker when you can. There's a lot better ways to just do it without having to spend your resources. But when you have guidance, it changes Tanya a little bit in 2 ways. So the first way is that her dash actually becomes I believe it becomes a little bit faster, but the main thing is that she actually keeps momentum when you cancel a dash into a normal attack. As you can see, she glows a little bit when she does that, which is pretty good for Tanya because you're going to be doing a lot of this. Dash up into a long range normal, and you get to keep your momentum on it. Compared to without guidance, she stops immediately, which is, that's alright. But if you're trying to do forward dash into stand 2 or dash into stand 1, the extra momentum will help to ensure that you can continue a combo or actually hit a blocking opponent and all that jazz. But the second way it affects her is that it gives her Umgadi dodge. So this is only available when you have 2 stacks of guidance, and it's this little teleport that leaves her in the air. So obviously you use this in combos and whatnot, so you can get into the air, do an air combo, or you can launch with it if you use the enhanced version, which is a high. So it can be ducked. Best way I would say to use it is in a combo like this. You know, something simple like that. But that is her Umgadi dodge and what guidance does. Now, divine protection, down back 3. This is where the matchup knowledge comes in. You really need to know. So it looks like this, and it's a parry. It parries highs and mids naturally, and if you enhance it, it will parry projectiles. So this is what it looks like parrying a string from Lee Mei. Okay, she did it instantly. I don't know why. And you see it says reversal, and you get a stack of guidance on it. Now the cool thing about this is that there's actually a perfect parry. Oops. If you do it like that, you get 2 charges of guidance, which is pretty cool. And you can see it's not because it's an overhead, it's because it was a perfect parry. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And this is where the matchup knowledge comes in, because you need to know where to throw it out. Because if I do it like that, as you can see, it's way too slow. But if I do it at the end, I get a guaranteed reversal on her. So the matchup knowledge with Tanya is extremely crucial to playing her, because you have these really cool reversals that can lead you straight into a combo, by the way, or straight into pressure. So there's a lot to know about this move, because other than knowing your opponent's strings, you need to know the spacing so that you don't whiff a jab right after, or you know, like that. You see, I whiffed my jab. So the spacing is actually a crucial element to it, because depending on how you got hit, your distance is going to be either really close to your opponent or really far, and your usual punish may not work. So there is layer upon layer upon layer for this reversal. It's a super sick reversal, and yeah, you're really going to need to go through basically the whole roster and just learn, okay, I can parry here and start pressuring again, or I can't parry here, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. And now the enhanced version will actually eat projectiles, in which the normal version doesn't. Now, other than immediately getting a reversal and being able to punish, you actually get 2 other options from it. You get Deity Push or Umgadi Evade. So, Deity Push, it looks like this. Okay, my bad. I just completely... It looks like that. It's a mid, 90 damage, pushes your opponent far back. You go and set up the guidance. Easy peasy. Enhanced Deity Push. The enhanced version will do just a little more damage and knock your opponent further back, and you can set up guidance. And the other option you get is Umgadi Evade, and it's her teleport. So you can go straight into the teleport. In fact, you can do it a little bit, if you could do it early in a string, you can hopefully maybe catch your opponent with a jump 3 or jump 1, which is pretty cool. But if you do the enhanced version, you can actually hit them during the teleport, which launches them into an air combo for you, which is pretty cool. But yeah, matchup knowledge, you're gonna need to know when you can do it. But either way, it's your get off me button, and it's just really cool. Just really difficult to use if you're new, because you're gonna have to learn when to use it and where you can use it. And her final moves are her drill kick, which is back forward 4. And it looks like that. It's a mid, super minus on block. On hit, it will side switch you and your opponent. And depending on your cameo, without enhancing it, you can get a combo. But if you enhance it, you're immediately able to do things from it. Like that. But yeah, so the enhanced is a combo extend, regular, side switch. I wouldn't recommend using this at mid-screen if your opponent is just kind of, walking back and forth blocking. It's pretty slow, so they'll be able to just block it. And they don't need to crouch block it either because it's a mid. But otherwise, this is what you use to extend your combos and all that. Or to end combos so they end up in the corner. And of course, you have hit advantage, 30 frames of it actually. So you can go ahead and do a guidance setup off it, which is pretty cool. And now her final move, which is probably one of her most important ones, is spinning split kicks. And you can do this from the ground or the air. And it looks like this. It's a whole bunch of mids, and it gives you a lot of hit advantage. You would use this as a combo ender. The enhanced version is her armored reversal. So if I were to have Lee Mei do her little string here, I would be able to find that gap in the string, enhance her spin kicks, so I can use that one hit of armor to take back pressure, like that. So that's her armored reversal. And the air version is the same deal. If someone were to go and do an air-to-air like that, you can instead do spin kicks to eat through their air normal and, hit them back and get a bunch of hit advantage. And you can use it to end combos as well. But that is it for her specials. Every single one of them is crucial to her gameplay. And as I showed earlier, this move, Divine Protection, you can do that instead of having to spend a bar of meter on split kicks, so that it does the same thing for you. You get a charge of guidance, and you get to take back pressure, which is really freaking cool. But yeah, that is it for her specials. Very important. Now we're on to her normals. So 1, 2, 2. On block, it's -1. It's high, mid, mid. Its range is pretty bad. So, you can just pressure with 1, 2. Because it's only -2. But yeah, it's like your average jab string. On hit, it gives you a hard knockdown, and you get 30 frames of advantage. So this means you set up guidance while they're knocked down, and so on and so forth. It's your average sort of string that you can quickly punish someone's string on block with. Not much to really say about it. Now we're on to her 2 1+3. 2 1+3 is a high, which is honestly pretty bad if I'm being honest, because it's very easily ducked. So Tanya suffers from having a lot of high strings that go into, or a lot of high starters that go into highs, but this has a lot of range to it, right? So you can definitely throw it out if someone's at mid-screen, but this is what it looks like on hit. It is a side switch, and depending on your cameo, during the throw portion of it, you can go ahead and continue the combo, or you can do a drill kick. It is a special cancelable string, which is pretty cool and pretty neat. But yeah, you get the idea. You can special cancel from it, which is pretty cool, but it's 2 highs, very far-reaching second hit, but easily ducked. So use it as your discretion. If your opponent is at mid-screen, walking back and forth, they're not blocking, they're not ducking, go ahead and throw that out, get a combo on them. Otherwise, doing it on block or right next to your opponent, terrible idea. Lots and lots of recovery, and the block advantage is really bad. If they block it at mid-screen, you're fine. If they duck it at mid-screen, you're fine. So use it as a spacing tool, and if you do hit them, you get a combo. Next is her forward 2-1-1. This is probably her best string in my opinion. It's 3 mids into an overhead, and every hit is safe on block, and it's got decent enough range for you to whiff punish people with. So let's have Lee Mei do her. Whoops. Let's have Lee Mei do her string here. And you can immediately put a stop on someone's string that they're whiffing at mid-screen. Very good for doing it like that. And on block, it is safe, as I said. So you can go ahead and just do forward 2-1-1 and keep checking people with it. And the spacing on it is very good as well. Yeah, and if you have a cameo that can do a low, you can do the low instead of overhead, so on and so forth. You get the idea. But yeah, forward 2-1-1 is your check string. This is how you check people. You whiff punish with it. You can check them on block with it. They have to block it because it's all mids. And eventually, sometimes do the overhead if they're crouch blocking it to knowledge check them ever so often. Very good string. This is the one you want to use. Now her back two strings. Oof, these are rough. So her back two, it's two highs. And it looks like that. If I can space it properly. I guess Lee Mei is actually too short, but it does hit twice, back two by itself, but Lee Mei actually appears to be too short for the second hit on block. But yeah, this is a great anti-air. And I'll actually have Lee Mei jump. We'll do a jump forward. It pulls them right to you, and you can do a natural, like, 1-2 string from it. And so on and so forth. But yeah, very good anti-air. Don't use it right next to your opponent. It has a lot of recovery, and because both hits are high, they can duck it and just, you know, down 2, so on and so forth. And the rest of the string, the back 2-3 and back 2-4, both versions, not very good. The back 2-3 is a overhead actually, so it's got a decent range on it, and it's -2. But here's the problem with it: it's super slow. So watch this. Look at that. She can just jab me right out of it. She doesn't even need to use an armored reversal to hit me out of the back 2-3. So I would say don't ever use back 2-3 unless maybe you space it properly like this. But even then, super telegraphed, super long startup, it's pretty rough. And definitely don't use it there. Like, she just did, yeah, wow. Very slow move. Now, obviously, if you anti-air with it, you can go ahead and do the second hit. But I would say it's better to do something else. But yeah, that is your anti-air tool. The second hit, you can use it or not if you anti-air with it. But otherwise, don't use it on block. You can maybe catch someone around mid-screen with the second hit, but even then it's pretty rough. And yeah. And back 2-4 is high mid, and it's really not all that much better. The reach on it sucks, and if you do anti-air with it, no, it's not an anti-air. It knocks your opponent pretty far back. You do get hit advantage, so you can set up guidance afterwards, but yeah, it's a pretty rough string for anti-air. Back 2 by itself is a very good anti-air. Back 2-3 will help you pick up off the ground from an anti-air. Back 2-4, you're gonna need like Cyrax to come in and do a buzz. It's a cameo thing. You're gonna need a cameo to pick up for you. But yeah, back 2, great anti-air. Back 2-3, don't ever use right next to your opponent because it's super slow. Use it from mid-screen or pick up from an anti-air. Back 2-4, I'd say don't use it. It's really not that good. And next is her 3-4. So her stand 3 is a very long reaching high, and she actually takes a step forward when she does it. The second hit is a low that is very minus on block. So if someone's at mid-screen And again, they're walking back and forth. They're not ducking. You can definitely catch people with stand 3. It's actually fairly fast. It's actually a fairly quick, far-reaching move. The second hit is rough. If you can confirm into the second hit, it's it's fine, yeah. But it gives you 14 frames of hit advantage, which yeah, setup guidance, but really the second hit, it's gonna depend on your cameo. So if you can, let's say Darius for example, you can set up Darius for his overhead when he stands behind them, and you can do 1+3 at the same time, so they have to block low or they have to block the overhead. They either get side switched or you get a combo on them. So it's gonna be one of those things where your cameo is gonna affect it a lot. But otherwise, stand 3 by itself is not too bad. If you whiff it and your opponent starts like walking forward and they don't expect you to do the second hit, you can go ahead and do that a couple times, but then they'll start getting wise to it. They start blocking that, and now you need a cameo to come in and save you. Like that. So, stand 3 by itself is fine. It's got pretty decent recovery if they duck it from very far away. So they can't really get in and do anything to you. But if you use it up close, like right in front of your opponent, it's really bad. It's -14, so you eat a full combo. So you use it as a spacing tool to hit your opponents that are around mid-screen to keep checking them if they try to walk forward, and you can confirm into the second hit, or you can confirm into a drill kick, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's where you would use that for. And her final string, I believe, what is her final string? Let me check. Yep, final string is back 3-4-4, and it's this forward moving low. She moves forward a little bit on it, and the entire string is safe. It's 3 lows, whole thing is safe, and you can use it as a combo starter if you have a cameo that can pick up from it. And this is what it looks like on hit. So yeah, it's an okay low. This is it's okay. The whole thing is safe, so you can definitely check people with it. You can whiff punish people pretty effectively, pretty well with it as well. Like that. Not as good of a whiff punish as doing stand 3 or doing spin kicks or just going into divine protection so that you can guarantee some reversal. But you can definitely use it in that way. Mainly, I'd say very good to check people with that aren't expecting a low, because they're going to be crouch blocking. I mean, they're going to be crouch blocking you a lot because Tanya has a lack of overheads. She only has 1. So they're going to crouch block, but it's not a bad thing to check people with. It does low profile as well. So if I have, we may do that. You can go under projectiles and punish with it. And because it does go pretty far, you can use it in that way. But yeah, on block, it's completely fine. She goes pretty far with it. Go under projectiles with it. And so on and so forth. Not much to say about it. And finally, I want to talk about her back 4. Her back 4, or her sweep, is very long reaching. Very long reaching low, safe on block, and she actually takes a step back when she does it, which is pretty neat. So, in conjunction with your stand 3, you can definitely do stuff like stand 3, micro walk forward into the low, and so on and so forth. So yeah, her sweep, very long range. You can check people with at mid screen with it if you don't want to use stand 3. But yeah, that's it for her normals. Now I'm going to her air combos are different. They're definitely different. I'll show them off. I usually don't, but I will show them off. So first is forward 424. If I can just, it looks like that. And the way you would use that in a combo is you do Heavenly Hands after it, the enhanced version, to restand. Or instead, you could do that, but it's gonna whiff. But yeah, Heavenly Hand from it can also whiff, but it's much more guaranteed. That is her bounce. 124 is her bounce. 133 is her yeah, it knocks them super far back so you can get right back into zoning. You can get guidance because you have hit advantage of 44 frames. Like that, and then you can start zoning. And finally, her 2-1 is a pretty cool looking string. And what you use that for is that you actually special cancel it into spin kicks. Like that. Or you can use Heavenly Hands, the enhanced one. But the problem is that if you're using 2-1 in the middle of the combo, they actually fly too far and your Heavenly Hand will miss. So that is it for Tanya's, you know, for all of her moves. Now I'll show you some combos, though I'm gonna be honest, her combos are not very damaging because she is meant to be played as a zoner and you're supposed to be doing a whole bunch of reversals and stuff. Mainly what I wanted to go over was her mid-range gameplay, because she is quite her game plan is quite unique and it's very, very cool, and you should definitely try her out, but she is definitely not for everyone. That is for sure. But yeah, she's really cool. And that's it for this video. I hope this helped clear up what you're supposed to do, well, at least what I think you're supposed to do with this character, and I'll see you in the next one.